All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the People Person podcast presented by Good Time Media. Today, I'm honored to welcome on a very special guest. The wonderful singer-songwriter Isabel Pless is here virtually, of course. So thank you for taking the time, Isabel. Thanks for coming on. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Have you done a lot of podcasts before?
I've done, I think I've done one before.
Okay.
Yeah,
Still new to it. Sweet. I like that.
still
Now,
new.
where are you right now? Are you in school? Are you home? What's it look like?
I'm home right now. I'm from Vermont, so I'm in my childhood home. I go to school outside of Boston. It's called Wellesley College, but
Okay,
I'm home
sweet.
right now.
So Vermont. What's going on? What is there anything like I don't know anything about Vermont. Not one thing. Is there like some fun fact, anything you know about Vermont that people can be like, "Oh, that's cool."
Sure. Well, it makes sense that you don't know anything about Vermont because not much happens here. But Ben and Jerry's is from Vermont.
Really?
Um, Yeah, that's our big claim to fame, probably. And Bernie Sanders, Ben and Jerry's, and Bernie Sanders.
Eh, Very, yeah, I like
Yeah,
that. A wide range of things right there in Vermont. Good
yeah,
to know.
yeah.
Now, I was lucky enough, I stumbled upon your music and your stuff on TikTok, which I'm sure that's just like it's still a weird platform, but it's the platform right now for like
It
discovering music.
is.
That's how I find new music. So I'm kind of wondering what role has that app played in your own career? Because like obviously people need to get on TikTok, do this, it's blowing up. What role, how has that changed your music process or in any way?
Well, I mean, it's changed everything. I wouldn't really have thought I could do music as like a career that anyone would want to listen until I started posting on TikTok. I don't study music. I'm a linguistics major, so it has like nothing to do with what I'm studying in school. So it was always just a little side project for me. I love writing, it's something I've always done. Um, but I started putting music out on TikTok in 2020 and people started to find it, which was really cool. And so really
Yeah.
that's how I built a fan base and
Huh.
like how I've gained listeners, which is really neat because I can do it from wherever.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about TikTok. A lot of people, like you said, like who weren't thinking, oh, I can do music full time or like I can chase this dream I have. TikTok kind of gave those people that platform. So were you not putting out any music or stuff before you were posting on TikTok, or were you still putting out music?
No, I would just I'd write songs and then I would send them to my friends and be like, "Do you like this?"
Oh,
But I never released anything because I did not think people would listen. So TikTok definitely it gave me the confidence to do it and also gave me some listeners, which is really
yeah.
cool.
How did you get the confidence to post the first TikToks? I feel like if you're just sharing with your friends, it's a little easier, but to post the first one's a little tough.
I know. I think well, it was right when school was starting and I was virtual for all of last year.
Yep.
So I was really bored. I was doing school alone in my
Same.
room
Yeah, it's
and
awful.
yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And um I think I just was like, I like music and I think, I'm not that bad, so I want to put a video out and see what people think and I'm a big fan of the delete button. So like if people don't like it, I can just take it down.
Yep.
But then people did like it, so
It's
it's
great.
good.
Yeah. That's gotta be like a strange feeling where it's like you've only shared this with your friends.
Yeah,
You're not trying to like I mean, guess you're not actively trying to like put out music and reach people and then it just ends up happening, which I think it's probably a healthier way for that to work rather than the opposite where you're like, please listen to my music, do this. You're enjoying it, which I think is the good part and a good path. But how you said you're a big fan of delete button, how strongly do you consider posting something or like someone else the reaction on TikTok, how strongly do you take that into consideration, whether you're like how does that affect your own thoughts in the song, if that makes sense?
yeah. I mean, I think something I've had to learn how to do the past like year or so is, my opinion of the song really outweighs everyone else's. Like if I
Mhm.
like it, I'll keep working on it. Um, People are like generally incredibly supportive online, and so that makes me feel really good, and again, like boosts gives you sort of a confidence boost in terms of like, okay, people would listen to this if I released it. But it is hard when you have like all these opinions being thrown at you. And yeah, I think for me, the most important thing is like, well, how do I feel about this song
Mm-hmm.
in conjunction with how do other people feel about this?
Yeah, I feel like it would be tough if I don't know. Have you had like a song or like even a clip of a song that you just kind of put out, you weren't thinking too highly of, and then it ended up
Yeah.
just doing really well, and you're like, well, crap, now I gotta like actually finish this or work more on this. Is something like that happened?
Yes, I put a, so in February I wrote a clip of a song that was called Eldest Daughter, and it was just like about, I don't
Yeah.
know, being an eldest daughter, and it like blew up. Like it was the biggest I had ever had at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, like I have to finish this now. It's
Yeah.
not done. And that's a challenging place to be in because you have all these people being like, can I have it? And you're like, well, actually, it's not done. So
Well, you finished it though,
um,
right? Yeah.
I did. I
Yeah,
did
it's
finish
really
it.
good. Yeah.
Thank you. Um, and so my relationship with that song was sort of like up and down because I was like, oh, this part isn't as good as the first part I posted, and maybe I don't even like this. But then, I got to the point where I finished it and I was like, okay, I like this and I feel like it means a lot to me and to other people. So put it out.
And then I'm sure the other way has happened where like you really like a song, you really enjoy this part of the song, and then you put it out and like it's not really connecting as much as you'd like it to. At that point, do you just say, screw it, I like it, I'm gonna keep working on it? Or how hard is that to navigate?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's happened a couple times. Yeah, it's kind of like, if it doesn't do super well, I don't think that says a lot about the song because the algorithm is so hard to predict.
It's so weird.
Um, it's really weird. I've given up on like trying to feed into the
Yeah.
whole trend thing. So I'll finish it anyway because it means a lot. Usually it's something that like means a lot to me, but maybe not
Mhm.
to other people, and that's okay because art can be personal and also general. Yeah, so that's been a big part of my journey of learning like my opinion for my art does outweigh everyone else's.
Mhm. Now, where do you do most of your writing? And do you ever like collaborate with other people, work on songs together? Or is it just like you in your own head? Just, I want to get this out there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time I start every song that I write for me, I start by myself. And then so my friend Andrew lives in Nashville. We worked on Bechtel tests together. And then I have another song coming out January 21st that we finished writing together also. So I like to start everything for me by myself, just because I think it's more personal and honest that way.
Mhm.
I do a lot of like writing sessions with other people for other people because I love collaborating. I just for me I want it to come only from me
Yeah.
basically. So yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few other like songwriters on here before, and I'm always really interested in the idea of like writing for other people, especially like with your music in general. It's like it seems very grounded and very like personal and almost vulnerable to the sense where like I wouldn't want anyone else to have that or sing that. So like, do you
Yeah.
feel that kind of ownership where it's like this is mine? I don't want anyone else to have it because I feel like that's how I would be if I was had any musical talent whatsoever.
Yeah, there are definitely some songs I think where I would be like, I don't, this happened to me and it's my experience and I don't really want to share it.
Yeah.
Um, I love when an artist brings something to me and is like, will you help me, put this into words? And that's a really awesome experience because you feel like, oh, I'm being trusted with this other person's experience and we could sort of word it together. So I really like that piece. But there are sometimes definitely some songs where I'm like, I just want to finish this myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of like, at least from my perspective, what of the music I've seen from you is your lyrics are very, like I said, kind of grounded, and it seems very personable and like very just like almost specific in a way where like, are most of those lyrics like your life, or do you drawing from different experiences and kind of a combination of a lot?
Well, thank you. Yeah, most of it is my life is not super interesting. I do a lot of like fiction, sort of coming up with stuff, drawing from, I don't know, TV shows, movies, whatever, reading. Um, I think the genuine emotion behind whatever I'm writing is very honest and like true. However, a lot of the specific details are not
Yeah.
true.
It reminds me a lot of Alec Benjamin. You listen to him at all?
I love Alec Benjamin. Yeah, I
He's
saw him live
awesome.
in October.
Did
Loved
you
him.
really? I want to see him live so bad. I
It's
I
really
was
good.
going to, and then I missed it, and it is what it is. But he's
Bummer.
phenomenal. His lyrics are, but like I see a lot of similarities in like the lyrics there. It's like it's very just like again grounded. Grounded is the only word I can think of right now, but that's just what it feels like. And are there any other artists? Is he one that you kind of not look up to, but just kind of model like music wise? Who do you look up to in the music industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely look up to his lyricism. I mean, Phoebe Bridgers, I think, is a comparison I get a lot, which makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. I love her so much. Taylor Swift is why I started writing music. I listen to a lot of Maisie Peters and Noah Kahn, a lot of really
I
like
saw Noah
lyrics.
Kahn in October live.
Me
Oh,
too.
he was so
So
good,
good. Yeah.
unbelievable. But yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
You're good. Yeah, I think, younger lyricists, people who are very specific and vulnerable with their lyrics, I really look up to.
hmm. Now I saw one of the videos. I think the video where I first saw you on my For You page. You saw it had people like Noah Kahn or Lauv like commenting on it. What
Yeah.
what is that? Is that like the initial reaction is like this is awesome or like this is a lot of pressure now? Like this is there's eyeballs on me.
Yeah, I think it feels sort of unreal. Like you get comments like that and you're like, that's not love. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I try not to feed into the pressure too much because I think I'd be a ball of anxiety all the time if I did.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's really cool to have people you look up to and idolize say like, hey, I like this.
Yeah. Now, have you tried? Obviously, TikTok's helped a lot and kind of realized like, hey, this is a possibility for me. What kind of steps have you been taking? Are you actively 100% like I'm just going to chase this now, try to take the moment? Or are you kind of balancing like I'm still in school, I still have these responsibilities? How's that balance working out?
Yeah. So I'm a senior in college. I have one more semester left. So my
Same.
goal is
Yeah.
cool, same
Yeah.
boat. So the goal is to like get the degree. And so I'll have graduated in May. And then I'm thinking probably Nashville and, try and do the music thing full time for a while. And it's like, if it doesn't work out, I always have the backup plan of
Yeah.
like, I have a degree.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel pretty secure in terms of like what I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I
do
always
next.
I explain it to people. It's like I'm getting the degree, but I hope I never have to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
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 So it's like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through the motions. I've worked hard enough to get to this point. Hopefully, I don't need it, but it's nice to have in my back pocket. We're like, okay, shit's hit the fan. I need to make some money. I'm broke.
Yeah.
Real world's going to hit me real quick. At least I have this backup plan. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, have you, since you haven't really been, you go from not putting out any music by like what, 2020 when you started posting on TikTok? Now,
Mhm.
it looks like you're doing like live shows and stuff.
Yeah.
How's that? How are you preparing for that? Have you done live shows before?
So in high school I did some open mics and cabarets and whatnot. Nothing past that. So this has been definitely a learning curve. I had my first show last month in Boston, which was really fun.
Mhm.
Um, I love performing live. It definitely is like having to take my, skill of performing in front of a camera to like, oh, now there are real people watching
Yeah.
me. Um, so I'm adjusting, but it's really fun and is a whole nother aspect of like the whole music thing. So
Yeah, I
it's a
feel
good
like
time.
yeah, performing in front of a live audience is a completely different skill, and I can't even imagine the nerves like just walking up on stage and having people, and then having to I can't sing, but I can't even imagine having to sing in front of people. Just it's a very vulnerable position to be in. So commend you for that. Now, when you go up on stage, are you sitting there just like you and a guitar, or like you got people behind you, got a band, or what's that look like?
It's really just me and the guitar, sometimes piano. I've never played live with a band before, so that would I don't like I don't really know anybody, to be honest, uh who would like I don't know. I don't know that many people in the music industry. I'm like still sort
Mhm.
of making my way in.
Yeah.
Um so I've never played with a band before, so I'm really just doing solo stuff right now. Hopefully one day I can have
Yeah.
some people play for me. That would be really cool.
Well, if people are listening and they're from Vermont, which I don't know if
Yes.
I have a strong Vermont demographic, but you never know. So if you're listening, yeah, we need a band. Now, one last question about college. So you said you're studying linguistics.
Mm.
What if hopefully you don't have to take that backup plan, but what was the idea behind linguistics and studying all that?
So I was gonna do speech and language therapy. The plan was like get my cognitive linguistic sciences degree and then go to grad school and then get SLP certified. But obviously that's changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely still really like I love linguistics, language is fascinating. And I think I use some of what I've learned in songwriting, but
Yeah.
it's not what I want to do right now. So maybe in
Yeah.
the future. We'll
I mean,
see.
yeah, plans change. Plans change every day. That's life, which it's good
Yeah.
to have a lot of different ideas going on. As long as you don't, a lot of people narrow down is like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to change.
Right.
And they do it, and they're like, damn, I'm not really enjoying this anymore. So as long as you keep
Yeah,
following what you enjoy, it'll all work itself out.
I
Um,
agree.
is there any this is a random question. Is there a movie you would want to see your song in that you would put any song of yours, a movie you saw that maybe fits the vibe of what you're going for, any song movie
Yeah.
combination?
Okay. uh well, I so this song isn't out yet, so it doesn't really I don't know
Okay.
if it counts, but
Counts.
I wrote this song that's like about Jude Law and the holiday, that rom-com. And I just watched it the other day
Okay.
again, and I was like, I feel like ending credit scene
That'd be
put in this
sweet.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
yeah,
yeah, that's funny. Again, like that's a very specific lyric. Like it's a very specific idea, which I think is cool.
yeah.
What kind of music are you listening to right now? What song do you have on repeat just over and over right now?
Um, so my friend Leah Pappas Kemps just came out with a song called Jinx, and it's my most listened to song of like December. It's very good. Um, Also Sam Fender's album
Mhm.
17 Going Under.
Pretty
Uh,
good.
yeah. What else? Orla Gartland came out with an album last year, and I love her. So
You
a lot of
how
people.
far back does your music taste go? Do you listen to any oldies?
Ooh, I mean, I was a hardcore Taylor Swift fan in high school, and so if I want to be nostalgic, I'll put on, you know, 1989 or something.
I oh my
um,
the parents who are listening to this are gonna be like, that's nostalgic. Taylor Swift. They're gonna be so mad at that answer.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Um, well, I'm a really big Joni Mitchell fan, so like if we're talking like older
Yeah.
music, 70s, I guess.
Okay.
Blue is one of my favorite albums. Um, I don't know. I she's the thing is my parents didn't introduce me to any of their favorite artists,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to find everything by myself. So I don't really
That's
know
probably
that much
better.
older music.
You're forming your own opinions on stuff.
I
Oh,
guess so.
yeah.
That's true.
No. I was influenced a lot. My dad always listened to country music growing up, and now I love country music still to this day, but
Yeah.
I partially blame him for that, which
Yeah.
it gets a lot of hate, but I like it.
It gets
There's some
more
good stuff.
hate than it deserves. Country
There's some
music
good country out. It's the
is
country
really good.
radio stuff. Everything on
Yeah,
country radio sucks for the most part.
I
But the stuff
agree.
you're not hearing, it's pretty solid. There's some good stuff out there.
Really good. Yeah.
Dak Bryan, you should check him out if you ever listen to him. He's phenomenal.
I have heard a few of his songs, but he's very good.
He's great. I was
Yeah.
supposed to see him in concert too. That didn't work out. I'm really
Oh,
dropping the ball in concert, so that sucks. Man, I'll see you.
hard right
I'll see
now.
you one day. One day when you have we're doing concerts, I'll be there. I promise.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah. Now, so moving forward, you said you talked about post grad, possibly moving to Nashville. Are you a goal setter? You're like, I want to do this, this, and this, like a checklist, or are you just like, let's go with it, let's see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I think general big goal, and I don't know what that really looks like, is like I would like to do music as a career and be able to support myself with that. But in terms of everything else, it's kind of like I don't really know, and I feel like the path looks very different for everyone. So I'm very open-minded in that way. But end goal, if I could do music as a career, that would be
Yeah.
perfect.
I feel like that's very realistic. So a lot of people will say like, oh, I have this goal. I want to do these small things to get there. It's like, it doesn't always work out that way. Like I'm the
Yeah.
same way. It's like, I have an end goal. I know where I want to
Mhm.
be. I don't know how I'm going to
Mhm.
get there, but I'm going to work my ass off to try to get there, and we'll see what happens. So it's hard to set goals in between that, where it's like, I'm working towards an end goal, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. I'm just going to try to. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange. It's a strange process to go through. Um,
Mhm.
so you see, what do you got coming up? You're playing live soon again, looks like.
Yeah, I have two shows coming up. One in New York City on the 11th,
Ooh,
one in Nashville on the 12th. Um, those are the two live
sweet.
shows.
How does that
Yeah.
line up with school and everything? That's gotta be
It's
weird
good.
going back.
Yeah, I'm on break right now. I go back, I think the week of like the 23rd.
Okay. So you got some time.
So, yeah, yeah.
It was it ever a possibility to be like, screw it, school, I'm done? I know you said like, yeah, get the degree and I'm that. That thought has to like fester a little bit with like, maybe I should just go all in as you start to blow up on TikTok and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, the the whole, music is going okay right now, and so it definitely plants the seed of like, oh, that's really what I want to do. But I've been working so hard like at
Yeah.
school for 3 years. I think it would really it would be really hard for me to just be like, okay, bye, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
finish. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, on the other side, it's also hard to like I think you're doing more than okay. You're doing pretty well. It's hard to
Yeah.
like sit in a classroom and learn about something. It's like they have no idea that I'm doing this music. And I'm doing it. It's like that meme with the guy in the corner. If you've seen that, where it's like they have no
Yes, they have
idea.
no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have no idea that I'm blowing up
That's
on
so
TikTok
funny.
and Noah Khan is commenting on my videos. So I get both ways. Obviously, like, stick it out. You've put this much work in. I'm in the same boat. It's like we're so close to the
Yeah.
finish line. Cross that line and then see what happens. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I have
Now,
to tell
so
you that video you saw where I is it the one about birthdays, like crying on your birthday? Was it
yeah,
that
yeah,
one?
that's the
Yeah.
one.
So I wrote that song when I was in class, and I remember sitting there and my professor was lecturing, and I was like,
Writing stuff down.
little do you know, this will be on my TikTok later.
That's so I resonate with. I mean, I've been writing down video ideas and podcast ideas in
Yeah.
class since like senior year of high school. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention to you right now. I got other plans. That's crazy. You remember that's the video that I first saw, and I know obviously it went crazy viral.
Mm.
What's the progress? Is that song being worked on? Just for my own
It
personal
is for
benefit.
your own personal
Yeah.
benefit.
I
Yeah.
just want to know.
It is. I
Uh,
finished writing it, so it is complete. We're working on producing it starting this month, and hopefully it'll be out at
what's
some point.
Good to hear for me. Now,
Yeah.
what's that timeline look like? What's the hardest part of, you have this idea, you put the clip out. Do you have like a idea of what the finished song looks like when you put a clip out like that?
It depends. Sometimes I have the full song. Most of the time it's just that one clip that you're seeing. And then depending on how much I like it or how well it does, I'll finish it. Um, that one I hadn't finished, but then as soon as it started getting a lot of attention, I already really liked it, and so I finished it. And I think the timeline looks really different for every song. For Bechtel test, that was really fast. Like I finished writing the song in early August, and then we had it out by like mid-September. But I mean, it usually isn't that quick.
Yeah.
It's usually at least like 4 months.
Is that frustrating where it's like, I have this new song, I have the song I really like, and I want to get it out there, but it's a longer process than people realize?
It's hard because I know people, I mean, it's such a quick, like right now with TikTok, it's like
Yeah.
you write a song, and if you want it to do super well, you put it out like 7 days later. And that is so the only way that's going to happen is if the song is done and produced and,
Mhm.
you know, already at distributors, whatever. So that is frustrating. People are like, can I have it? And you're like, not yet.
Yeah. And when it starts to get pissed
um,
off, it's like, come on, just give me the song. It's like they don't understand how much that actually goes into it.
yeah, I've had to learn how to sort of leave that energy just with the person who commented.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I do as much as I can. But uh yeah, it is frustrating to be like, I just want this to be out, but we
Mhm.
have to do some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, last question I want to ask you. I asked it to everyone who comes on. You can answer it however you want, but what gets you up in the morning?
Um, whoa, that's a biggie. I don't know. I think I'm just so excited by the potential of like every new day. That sounds so stupid,
Oh,
but
I
like
like that.
I there's so much potential.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I love seeing my friends and family and their, I don't know, my love for them and their love for me keeps me going, and being able to share what I love doing is a really big catalyst
Mhm.
and my confidence and direction in life. So there you
Yeah.
go.
No, I love asking people that question because they like it takes them off. They're like, oh, I haven't really thought about like why am I doing this? What am I doing this life thing for? And it's no one ever
Yeah,
thinks about it. So like it's
it's
like, why am I
true.
getting up every day to like go to do this, do this? It's like it's fun. And like you talked about like that potential. It's like that's my answer to that question is like it's
Mhm.
the blank slate. Each day is like
Yeah,
I'm starting at zero. I can do what it can be whatever I want it to be. So like that blank slate of each day is like that's what keeps me going. I love that where it's like I'm not doing the same thing over and over again because that would drive me insane. I couldn't do that.
me too. I
Yeah,
agree.
it'd be really tough. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time. I'm super excited to see what you do next, and I'm very
Thanks.
excited to hear about that things are going well. You got live shows coming up, so good luck with all of that.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dream girl, dreaming, I be dreaming. Missing all the days you got me feeling. I said I love you, babe, you know I mean it. Hey, yeah, dream girl, I be dreaming.